the dignitaries on the dais of the dais. I, Ms. Kamre Namrata Jayavant, Assistant Professor in Physics, welcome you all on the behalf of Organizing Committee of National E-Conference on Geographic Environment during COVID-19 lockdown period. On the gateway to this on the gateway to the initiation of this national conference, I take immense pleasure to express my most sincere gratitude for your presence in this opening ceremony. We all are lucky enough to have with us on dais distinguished guests for all the sessions. I assure this e-conference will be helpful to all the students, researchers, academicians working in the promising field of earth sciences. I now invite Honorable Principal Dr. L.D. Kadam Sir to inaugurate the conference by offering garland and tribute to the statue of Karmavir Dr. Bhaurav Patil, founder of Rayat Shikshan Sanstha. Over to the Honorable Principal.
रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा कर्मवीरांचे ज्ञानपीठ हे शक्तिपीठ ही ठरते आहे शाहू फुल्यांचे समानतेचे तत्वमानसी मूर्ते आहे धर्म जातीच्या पाद गांधींचे मूल्य मानवी जपतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा गरिबासाठी लेणी मोडून लक्ष्मी वहिनी झाली आई कमवा आणि शिका मंत्र हा तरुणाईला प्रेरक होई स्वावलंबी वृत्ती ठेवून ज्ञान साधना करतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा साठी अण्णा तुमची झिजली चंदन काया अनाथ जीवा सदा लाभली मातृहृदयी तुमची माया शून्यामधल्या नवसृष्टीचा निर्मिक तोही ठरतो आहे. रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे. वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे. रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा. जीवनातला तिमिर जावा, प्रबोधनाची पहाट व्हावी. इथे लाभले पंखले उनी, उंच भरारी नभात घ्यावी. प्रतिभाशाली बहुजनांचा वेलू गगनी चढतो आहे. रयते मधुनी नव्या युगाचा माणूस आता घडतो आहे. वटवृक्षाच्या विशालतेचा मोहन भाला पडतो आहे. रयते मधुनी.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. With this official inauguration, I now cordially invite Associate Professor and Head of Geography Department, Dr. A.S. Khade, sir, for convener's address. Over to Dr. A.S. Khade, sir.
Well, hello, Namrata madam.
Yes, sir.
येते ना ऐकू येते?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yes. Okay. Well, good morning to all. I, Dr. Khade, Head of the Geography Department. I welcome to all of you today one-day national e-conference on geographic environment during COVID-19 lockdown period. It is organized by Department of Geography from Arts, Science and Commerce College, Ramanandanagar, Burli, Taluka Palus, District Sangli, State of Maharashtra. All the source of inspiration is our Honorable Principal Dr. L.D. Kadam. The Department of Geography, established in 1973, has completed 47 years as undergraduate. It has well-equipped and experienced teaching staff. Our department runs different value-added courses like geoinformatics, fundamentals of computers and its applications, and in introduction to cartography. The department has availability of different equipments with well-equipped geography laboratory. Now, today's national conference is going on. Today, world faces disease like COVID-19. Most people's infected with coronavirus. It's spread all over the world. We see COVID-19 point of view from geography. It's spread over the world due to the migration of peoples from different areas, especially urban areas to rural ones. The point of view from human geography, it affects on surroundings like our nature, industry, culture, and diets of the peoples, and disturbance of finance of every country. Every country faces COVID-19, try to control on it. So every country created rules and regulations and laws in this lockdown period. It is affects on our cultural life like marriages, marriages done at the houses and below the shadows of the trees with limited peoples. It is also affects on our transportation facilities, agriculture, market, business, disturbance of everything. So lacks of problems created in the lockdown period due to the COVID-19. In the families, peoples are quarrels with each other due to the lacks of grains and violences in the families we seen in the during lockdown period. From the Department of Geography, thank you to participants, organizers, and committee members that they participants are agree to our request to guide, and all the resource persons, Honorable Principal Dr. A.S. Jadhav, and another resource person, Honorable and ex-professor of the and head of the SP College, Dr. Shrikant Karlekar, and another third person is Deshmukh Madam from Nashik. All the participants here, once again, I thank you to all. Jai Karmavir. Thank you very much.
Namrata, unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir. With this convener's address, thank you, Khade sir, for the convener's address. Now, I would like to invite Honorable Principal of Arts, Science and Commerce College, Ramanand Nagar, Burli, Dr. L.D. Kadam sir, for presidential address. Over to Honorable Principal, Dr. L.D. Kadam sir.
Thank you, Namrata. Good morning, one and all. Distinguished guest, esteemed speaker, academicians, researchers, teachers, and students who have joined in the today's e-conference on geography environment during COVID-19 lockdown period, organized by Raj Shikshan Samstha, Art, Science and Commerce College, Ramananda Nagar, Burli, Department of Geography, in collaboration with Internal Quality Assurance Cell. I welcome you all to the inaugural function of this e-conference. At the outset, I express my sincere tribute to the memories of great educationist and the founder of Raj Shikshan Samstha, Padma Bhushan Dr. Karmavir Bhaurao Patil. He was a great visionary educationist who worked for the upliftment of masses and downtrodden people through education. He believed that education alone could correct the social ills such as caste discrimination, illiteracy, untouchability, superstitions, and the social and economic inequality. Raj Shikshan Samstha is a pioneer education institute in Maharashtra. It is one of the leading education institute in Asia. The Samstha runs 42 colleges. Our college was established in 1968 by Raj Shikshan Samstha. Our college is affiliated to Shivaji University, Kolhapur. The college runs UG and PG programs. Last year, our college was accredited by NAC with A grade in a revised framework. I feel proud to announce that more than 150 participants have registered with a very short duration. I thank all the participants for their keen interest and for registering e-conference. I hope you are safe and doing well. Dear friends, as we all know that world is struggling with COVID-19 pandemic, whole world is in lockdown mode, and due to this major crisis, there are so many transformations, and it has created adverse effect on the financial sector, public health sector, and also industrial sector. COVID-19 pandemic created challenges on one side and the opportunities on the other side. The UGC and the government has advised us teacher fraternity to do work from home. In this context and framework, Department of Geography has organized today's one-day national e-conference on geographic environment during COVID-19 lockdown period. We have placed oral and poster presentation of research in geography and deliberation of resource person. Geography is a unique in bridging the social sciences and the natural sciences. There are main two branches of geography, human geography and physical geography. Human geography is concerned with the special aspect of human existence, whereas physical geographers study patterns of climates, landforms, soil, vegetation, and water. COVID-19 pandemic has been found to be good for the environment. The nature is recovering while the humanity stays at home. Carbon emission output get decreased. Is there any correlation between the COVID-19 outbreak and the existing weather climate condition? To understand this geographical influence on spatial distribution of COVID-19 transmission, many researchers are working, and it is observed by several analyses that climatic factors have an unavoidable influence on this viral disease in India. Meteorology, air temperature, humidity, rainfall, solar radiation, wind speed, population density, etc., and the topography significantly alter the environmental stability. Therefore, it might affect the sustainability of viruses and the transmission process. Dear ones, we are considering this conference with special aim. In what way can the geography help in dealing with COVID-19 and to bring together the scientists, researchers to exchange and share their experiences and research results. It will provide a common e-platform and opportunity to the researcher in geography. With these few words, I take pleasure and opportunity in welcoming all the three distinguished speakers. I congratulate the Department of Geography and the IQAC who jointly organized this online conference. I appreciate the team members and the experts who had for their hard work, and at last I would like to conclude and express my best wishes to this conference. Thank you. Jai Karmavir, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of encouragement and all the endless support. With presidential address, now we will begin with the most awaited sessions of renowned speakers present with us today. And to introduce the speaker of very first session of this e-conference, I call upon Ms. Sneha Wagh, the head Department of Zoology, to introduce speaker of first session. Over to Sneha Wagh. So please unmute Sneha Wagh.
Okay.
So we have with us Sneha Wagh ma'am introducing the speaker for first session.
हाँ स्नेहा.
Thank you, Namrata ma'am. Good morning, one and all. It's my pleasure to introduce today's eminent speaker of keynote session, Dr. Ambadas Jadhav sir. Dr. Ambadas Jadhav sir is the principal of Srimati Devkiba Mohan Singh Ji Chauhan College of Commerce and Science at Silvassa. He was a former professor and head at Department of Geography at University of Mumbai, Vidyanagari, Mumbai. He was a director at Academy for Administrative Careers at University of Mumbai. He holds an academic experience of 34 plus years. He has completed his MA from Marathwada University in 1979. He has completed his PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi in 1995. He has completed his postdoc at South Dakota State University, Brookings, USA in 1996. Guided 8 students for PhD, and at present there are 5 students doing PhD under his supervision. He has an ample number of research publications in various national and international recognized journals. He had actively participated and presented more than 40 years in numerous national and international conferences, workshops, and seminars. Apart from this, he has been honored with several awards. He had been granted with UGC Junior Research Fellowship and UGC Senior Research Fellowship for MP, MPhil, and PhD at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. He also bestowed with the Government of India Overseas Scholarship for postdoctoral research and training at South Dakota State University, Brookings, USA. He has an organizing members of many national and international institute and distinctive committees. He also worked as life member of diverse associations and societies. He also been a resource person in number of seminars and workshops and conferences. He has worked as coordinator, chairperson, and member at different institute and university level. Such a dynamic and multidimensional personality today we have with us. With this brief introduction, I please to welcome Honorable Dr. Ambadas Jadhav sir to share his knowledge in this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You can continue, sir.
Shall I?
Yes, sir. Start.
Okay. Friends, at the outset, I thank you very much to Principal Kadam sir, then Dr. A.S. Khade for inviting me here to address and share my views with you. In fact, Kadam sir has made my work very easy. He has already introduced you to the discipline and narrated what is geography about. I don't know what is the subject, but really the geography is a unique bridge between the social sciences and natural sciences, because if you look at our work, you will find that geomorphology, climatology, that comes under science, whereas economic geography, transportation geography, population geography comes under social sciences. So we will have a different, in fact, it is said that if you look at the discipline of geography, encompassing so many disciplines, part of so many disciplines. For example, zoo geography is a part of zoology, and phytogeography is a part of botany. Soil geography, part of agriculture or soil pedology. If you see, the economic geography is a part of economics. So people say that it is a hodgepodge of all these things because it brings together so many disciplines. And on the other hand, we claim that no, we are abridging between social sciences and natural sciences. So friends, here today we are going to deliberate upon uh, geographical environment during COVID-19. So what would be the impact of geography or over the geography of the COVID or geographical elements over the COVID that is expected to be deliberated in uh, this conference. Friend, let me throw some light upon the role of geography. The first thing, as already stated, we are having physical geography and human geography. There is a dichotomy between these two sciences. And apart from this, we are having some uh, technical tools like the geographer mostly use GIS, GPS, and even Google Map also. So we can take the help of all these things to study our this pandemic. In fact, in my opinion, this COVID has impacted human activities and environment. Geography is not going to impact upon the COVID, but COVID has impacted. We take the example of our uh, environment. Now the people are saying that they can see the Himalaya from Jalandhar. It means that air has been very clear, so the people can see. The pollution has come down. The carbon level has come down. It is stated that the carbon level has come down to 17%. So 70% is not a joke. But when it has been unlocked, then it has started rising up. So it has come to up now at 5%. It means that during the COVID period, we will have a very clear and very nice this environment. But as soon as the COVID, this unlock is opened, then again we are expecting to come to the original state. So that we have to maintain. So the world should follow the order that they should not go for the carbon fuels. Now just you see, when the China was locked down, that time all the industries and everything was shut down. And the year was very clear. When the China declared, hello, am I visible? Hello, am I audible? Hello?
You are
Hello?
audible. You are audible.
Yeah, someone is getting the speed. What is that? Screen. Okay. So when the China, hello?
Yes, sir. You are audible. Continue.
When the China declared this one open lockdown, then they started the industries, utilizing coal, and again the pollution level increased a lot. So what I feel is that the world should take a lesson from the COVID, and we should not use our conventional fuel and go for the non-conventional fuel so that we can maintain the our this one environment. So friends, in this one, geographical information, when you take the example of our Arogya Setu, there also the geographical information is utilized with the main platform and the main technology behind it. So that gives us the information regarding different type of patients. Suppose the patient is going by, so we can detect from that one, or the government wants to know with whom this person or this patient has come into the contact. They can trace the history, they can track the log and pinpoint. So friends, the new technology of geography has been helping in COVID-19. Now, let me come to the other aspect. Apart from this technology, if we come to environment, the air is clean, the water of the river is also very clean. There was a news some days ago that the Ganga at Banaras, the water is very clear. Before the COVID, people were not used to touch when the water was so dirty, but now the water is very clear, just like a spring water. So many rivers, even in the Europe also, some of the big rivers you have been done when these things are very clean now. So the air is clean, water is clean, even the soil is also got some clean in the sense that most of the bleached or drained this thing elements have been washed off. So the soil is also very clear. So in fact, the elements of our this thing environment are clean. And the second thing is our biodiversity. Biodiversity is also springing up in the sense that new trees are also new saplings are also coming up. And the second thing is that due to the uh, lockdown of what is that due to the this there is no what you can say that there is no sound of aeroplanes, even the traffic, and because of that one, the new this one what is that chirping of the birds is coming out. It means that the birds we were not in the uh, uh, we were not seen are being sighted now. So as soon as the lockdown is over, then again that birds may disappear. So we have to maintain that one also. Uh, Apart from this, the social this one has been disturbed. We take the migration. Lot of people migrated from Mumbai to Uttar Pradesh, Bengal, and this one. So this will be a kind of large migration in our country. Many people left the place of work, and now again the reverse migration is taking place. People have started coming from Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, and Bihar to Mumbai. So during this migration, we have to exercise a very, very fine uh, discipline. Otherwise, the people will be taking corona with them to their state and again bringing from there to our state. That should not happen. So the discipline needs to be maintained when the migrants are coming. And the second thing, I'm very afraid of many people have lost their jobs. It was estimated that 16 crore people lost their job. Now we see if the person loses the job, he will not buy the things. If the person doesn't buy the thing, there will be no, if there is no demand, then again the production will be lowered down. And if the production is lowered down, again there will be no money to pay to the workers. So there will be a kind of vicious circle, and it may push our economy into the recession. And if the recession increases, then it may result into depression. And that to come out from the recession, it takes 2-3 years. But to come out from the depression, it takes about 7 to 10 years. So that should not happen to our economy. So the government should open some sectors which are essential to generate money and flow into the economy so that we can sustain our economy also. That is a very important part of our economy. And the second thing, now the people are very scared of moving out. For example, it will have a great impact on tourism. No one wants to undertake the journey to the Europe or to the America during this period, and even after, it is advised after 2 years also we should not undertake long journeys unnecessarily. So if there is no tourism, then the tourism would have an indirect impact upon hotel industry. So there is a circle, this is a vicious circle. If one sector is affected, that will affect the another sector. Now you just take the example of one industry, that's tourism and travel. So it affects the transportation, it affects the hotel industry, and naturally it will affect out the labor supply also. So this is one of the biggest, what we can say, the biggest impact upon the economy. And naturally, if the persons are not going out, they will not be spending. And the second sector, what I feel is that will be more important than that is pharmaceutical industries. Now the pharmaceutical industries are booming because many people wants to have some medicine with them. So they are buying medicines also. So some industries will have a recession, some industries will have a very nice future. And the pharmaceutical industry is one of the industries which will have a bright future. And friends, apart from this, there are other sectors also which are going to affect. And it is expected from the scholars that they should study minutely the effect of all these things and try to help nation to come out of this pandemic. Now, this is the inaugural address, and I don't have any idea how many papers have come, but I expect that to uh, have this webinar. In this webinar, the geographers, if the geographers are there, if the economists are there, they will study properly their own subject and help to come out from this recession and to fight this COVID-19. With this word, I declare this uh, session is inaugurated and opened. And once again, thank you very much, sir, for inviting me, especially Mr. Khane, and then Kadam, sir. And let me introduce little about my college also. I am from Srimati Devkiba Mohan Singh Chauhan College of Science and Commerce. This college is run by Silvassa Charitable.
तिथं तासगावचा गुलाबराव पाटील मी माझी नाही प्रात्यक्ष माझ्या आत्तेच चिरंजीव त्यांचा मुलगा तिथं आहे त्यानं काल बी राहुलचा पॉझिटिव्ह
Silvassa Charitable Trust and our university is affiliated to our college is affiliated to University of Mumbai, and we run Commerce Science College as faculties. We are also having Law College over here, having 5 years course and 3 years course. With this word, I conclude over here and over to the technical team. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, to extend vote of thanks, I would like to call upon Associate Professor and Head, Dr. A.S. Khade, sir, Geography Department. Khade, sir, please mute yourself. Unmute yourself, sorry.
Okay. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Audible.
Yes. Today's inaugural speech or keynote address, Honorable Principal Dr. A.S. Jadhav, sir, from Silvassa. He has thrown light on the geographical aspects of all these aspects are affected, and especially the role of geography and human activities, environment, migration of peoples, loss of job, and every aspects of the economy is affected by these calamity or the COVID-19, and all the industrial sector has been suffered due to this calamity. For the guidance and inaugural session, I am very much thankful to Honorable Principal Dr. A.S. Jadhav, sir, once again, and thank you, Jai Karmal.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, to introduce the speaker for second session, I would like to invite Ms. Priyanka Jirge, Head, Department of Mathematics. Over to Priyanka Jirge, ma'am. Sir, please make her available on the screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Priyanka.
Thank you, Namrata ma'am. Morning, one and all. As resource person for second session, we have with us Dr. Srikant Karlekar sir. He is a former Dean of Faculty of Earth Sciences, Tirak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth, Pune. Former Head Department of Geography at SP College, Pune. He has supervised a total 28 students for MPhil and PhD. Dr. Karlekar sir have published a total 40 texts and reference books, presented 22 papers in conferences, and have published 99 research papers in renowned publications. He has been awarded with Best Teacher Award, LG Deshpande Award, Geography Teacher Award, and Swatantravir Savarkar Award. His topic for today's talk is changes in the geographic environment during COVID lockdown. It's proud privilege for me to introduce and invite Dr. Srikant Karlekar sir to commence the session. A warm welcome to you, sir, on behalf of Arts, Science and Commerce College, Ramanand Nagar, Burli. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Jirke ma'am. Now I invite the speaker for second session, Dr. S.N. Karlekar, sir. Over to Dr. S.N. Karlekar, sir.
Thank you, madam. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I start? Can I share the screen also?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Just a minute. Can you see this?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But I have shared the screen.
Okay.
I have shared the screen and I can see this.
Maybe we'll wait for a moment. Maybe internet speed. So, Sunny sir, please look into it.
Karlekar sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but can you
yes.
see the slides?
No, sir, your screen is not visible now.
Oh, should I start again or what?
Again, you can start again.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Some problem. Just a minute.
Yes, sir. Sir, not an issue.
Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Your video is visible.
Video visible, sir.
But slides are not visible.
Just a minute. I do not know why. Just one moment. Just one moment.
Okay, sir. Take your
one moment. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Now it is visible.
Visible, no? Okay.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can you see now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Can I start now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to. You can hear me, no?
Sir, make your voice a little louder.
Yes.
Hello.
Your voice a little louder.
Acha, just a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, now everything is okay. You can start.
Perfect,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank the principal of the college and the other dignitaries, other office bearers, especially Dr. Khade, who has given me the opportunity to join with this particular presentation. Okay, I will start with my presentation. As you know, you can see a full slide, no, sir? You can see a slide, no?
Yes, yes.
You can see the slide.
Yes,
Because there
sir.
is, something is appearing on my screen. Okay. Okay. As you know, the topic that is given to me and the topic on which I'm going to talk is changes in the geographic environment during this particular COVID period, lockdown period. As you know, the COVID pandemic, also known as the coronavirus pandemic, is an ongoing global pandemic of coronavirus disease, 2019, COVID-19 that is called as. It is caused by severe respiratory syndrome, and the outbreak was first identified in Wuhan, China in December 2019. This all of you know. The worldwide disruption caused the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted into numerous impacts, especially on the geographic environment, especially the climatic, fluvial, coastal, urban, and biogeographic environment. These are the environments that are affected by this particular COVID-19 pandemic, especially the lockdown period, in the lockdown period. Now you can see that due to lockdown procedures mainly, many shops they are closed. People they are stopped from moving outside. The establishments they are also closed down, and that has actually affected the environment also. Now, how that we'll see in brief. The lockdowns have shown the improvements in the quality of the geographic environment that is only possible when emissions are reduced on a global scale. So this is basically an effect of reduction in the emissions on the global scale, on the global level. Now, before the start of COVID-19 pandemic, the air around us had been deemed very toxic to breathe in due to the amount of greenhouse gases that had been emitted over the centuries. The earth faced rising temperatures, which in turn led to the melting of glaciers, rising of sea levels, etc. Environmental degradation was happening fast due to the depletion of the resources such as air, water, and soil. But after the coronavirus lockdown commenced, there have been slight improvements in all these environments. That is very important. Okay, so there are some effects, there are some reports, which of course I will let you know in few minutes. The environment is getting improved, okay, and the slight improvements can be seen in all these. Now, up to 2020, this is the major scenario there. Okay, the rising sea levels, the environmental degradation, anthropogenic impact, etc. All this. Okay. Now, the climate change is a long-term shift in the weather conditions identified by changes in the temperature, precipitation, winds, and other indicators. However, there is no evidence of a direct connection between climate change and the emergence of the transmission of the COVID-19. So we do not know whether there is a connection between the COVID-19 and the climate change. Now, as we know, the climate change is basically a long-term shift in the weather. So at present, we may not be knowing the effect of this, but in few days, in few years, probably in few years in future, we may know whether there is an impact of COVID-19 on the climate change. But at present, there are no reports which indicate that there is a climate change and it is affected by COVID-19. Impact of COVID-19 lockdown on geographic environment is in some steps. Okay, for example, we can begin with the air quality because that is the important factor that has been affected. After the lockdown was put in the place in many countries, there was lesser traveling done by people, whether it by their own cars or by trains and flights. Even industries were closed down and not allowed to function. This turn led to the pollution in the air dropping significantly as there was a marked decline in the nitrous oxide emission. We were to concentrate only on these two mainly, nitrous oxide. Okay, so the nitrous oxide emission has decreased. However, of course, you'll also know that this particular pollution drop varies from area to area, area to area. Okay, especially in China, India, Italy, etc. There are short-term improvements, short-term improvements. Okay. Now, this particular
मला
is
को होस्ट कर जरा हां म्हणजे माझं मला करता येईल को होस्ट कर हां
there are. I'm sorry, there are many disturbances also.
Sasani sir, please mute Principal sir's screen.
I cannot.
So just a minute, we'll do it.
Yeah. And there are many
Okay,
pops
done.
coming up.
Okay, done. Yeah.
Okay. Now this particular decrease is basically in the particles or suspended particles of the size 10, nitrogen oxide and the sulfur dioxide concentrations. They were reduced by more than half during the COVID-19 lockdown period. So these curves, they indicate how there is a drop in all these. This shows the particulate matter decrease, that is suspended matter decrease from 8th of March this year to 5th of April this year. Similarly, this is a drop in NO2 and this is a drop in SO2, sulfur dioxide. You can see on some days it has slightly increased, again it has gone down, it has increased, has gone down again. So this is basically a result of the emission control. Okay. Now, the considerable decline in the planned travel has caused many regions to experience this particular drop in the pollution world over. The lockdowns and the other measures have resulted in 25% reduction in carbon emission. We have seen nitrogen oxide. This is a reduction in the carbon emission and 50% reduction in the nitrogen oxide. This particular curve will also show you, okay, where there is a level 3 decrease in the travel and all those things. You will see that this much is the amount of drop. Where there is a level 2 decrease, this is a drop, and where there is a level 1 decrease in the automobiles, etc., everything. So this much only is the drop, okay, in the carbon dioxide emission. Now, in the first month of lockdowns, countries produced fewer metric tons of carbon dioxide than the same period in 2019 due to the reduction in the air traffic, oil refining, and coal consumption. So you will come to know that basically it is the effect of air traffic mainly, and the oil refineries and the coal consumption. So these are the things which have been closed down, and therefore there is a reduction in the emission. This particular map will show you how the NO2 has decreased in London. Okay, this is 2019 scenario. This is 2020 scenario. So the dark zone shows the areas that are covered by NO2 pollution. You can see the reduction. This is the case of London. This is the case of New Delhi. Okay, you can see the amount of nitrogen oxide pollution over New Delhi here, and what has happened here in New Delhi in 2020. Okay, since March 1. This is Moscow in Russia, and this is California. So all these, diagrams and all these maps, they are self-explanatory, and they will definitely give you an idea of how the NO2 pollution has decreased. One Earth system scientist has estimated that it may have saved at least 77,000 lives over 2 months. So these many people, they have been saved, which were under the threat of pollution. Now, this particular pollution has decreased, and this has saved about 77,000 people. That is a remarkable, estimation and a research. Okay, this is drop in air pollution over North India, because over North India there are many areas and there is a lot of pollution here. You can see it here. You can see the polluted areas here. You can see here, and here you can see a clear air. Okay, a white patch, and you can compare with this. This is 2020 scenario, and this was the earlier scenario. So how much area, especially in the North India, okay, has over each area the pollution has decreased. Now, the absence of carbon dioxide has also another effect also. The amount of energy that comes into or towards the Earth's surface goes back normally, is reflected back, okay? And when it doesn't, it is not reflected back easily, it increases the temperature. But because of this particular easy incidence of Earth's energy, okay, towards the Earth's surface, it is not going out, and it has lowered the temperature by 0.5 to 1 degree centigrade. You can see this. This is very, very important because this will affect many other things on the Earth's surface. And this has caused the cooling of the Earth faster. In even daily life, you can experience this. The land is cooling faster daily. Now, this may cause a delayed arrival of monsoon. This is one another observation, because the monsoon system is governed by the temperature difference on the land and on the sea. But this is getting cooled at a faster rate. The land is getting very cooled at a faster rate, and therefore this may cause a delayed arrival of monsoon. And we are also seeing some symptoms and some signs of the delayed arrival of monsoon since last few days. Okay, it is also likely that the development of such cyclones, okay, you cannot predict. You cannot. This may also cause delayed development of tropical cyclones, and this is mainly because of the cooling of land. The drop in the pollution level due to shutdown of the factories and vehicles road had an effect on temperatures, particularly at night, and may have been responsible for intense potential monsoon showers. Okay, there is nitrogen oxide, and I mean this definitely this is a very interesting example. This causes smog and acid rain, and this happens every year in the early months of the monsoon. Okay, and this has dropped by 47% since March 5. Okay, nitrogen oxide, and therefore there are no incidences of acid rain. This is acid rain formation. You will see this is SO2, this is NO2, and these are the emissions going into the air here, and all this comes down with the rain, and the rain becomes acidic rain. Now, acid rains have not been reported since the beginning of the COVID period. Now, these are all the effects of acid rain. They can kill aquatic life. It increases the acidity levels of rivers, lakes, seas. It increases the acidity levels of soils. It can kill vegetation. It destroys the roots and leaves of the forest. It can erode buildings and monuments. So you can be sure that these things probably will not take place, at least in this particular season, because there is no acid rain. It is not still reported. That is more important. Okay. Now NASA uses a ozone monitoring instrument, OMI, which is shown here, to analyze and observe the ozone layer and pollutants such as NO2, aerosols, and others. This instrument helped NASA to process and interpret the data coming in due to the lockdown worldwide. Okay, so because of this particular instrument, they could measure how much ozone, okay, has been disturbed, how much it has improved because of the decrease in the ozone layer and pollutants such as NO2, aerosols, and others. Okay, this is I mean, just to explain to you, this is ozone in the atmosphere, and ozone normally occupies this particular zone, ozone layer. It is 25 kilometers above the ground surface, or say roughly about 15 miles. Okay, this is ozone in the atmosphere. This one. Now you can see that this particular area has become very clear. There are no pollutants in this particular area, and therefore the ozone in the atmosphere, the ozone here also. Okay, so that definitely has affected. Now this is changing size of ozone hole. This is a great contribution and a great research which has appeared last month only. This is May 2018 picture of the Antarctic. And this is May 2020. You can see the shape has changed and it has shrunk also. There is shrinking of this and it has become elongated. Now this is a May 2020 picture taken in the beginning of the COVID-19 lockdown. Okay, probably after 2 months, you see that there is a great more improvement on this particular ozone hole on the Antarctic. Okay. Now, this is what has happened on the ozone hole on Arctic, the largest hole in the ozone layer, spreading over 1 million square kilometers above Arctic. It has closed. You can see this. This is March 2019 picture of Arctic. This will give you the amount. Okay, changing extent of ozone hole on Arctic, and these are the total. This is the total ozone figures, Dolson units. You can see this. How much ozone was there? 500, 600, 700 Dolson units, March 2019, and you can see now this one. Okay, this has reduced considerably. Another effect, a worldwide reduction in the aircraft flights due to pandemic has affected the accuracy of weather forecast, because many weather forecasts are dependent on the observations which are taken in the aircraft flights, and it has decreased by 65% or more due to the drop in the commercial flights due to lack of meteorological data from commercial aircrafts. This particular figure will show you how the aircraft radar helps in weather forecasting. Okay, the radars transmit radio signal and receive echoes from objects in the path. The data is used to avoid turbulence. Aircraft instruments measure various upper atmospheric parameters, including wind speed and direction, temperature, and cloud data like cloud droplets. Observations from radio sounds are the primary source of upper air data used in weather models. Radio sound gives direct upper air measurements that help predict the path of weather systems like cyclones. And aircraft radar data is used as an additional input in the models. So all this information we are not getting. We are not getting because of the or the decrease in the amount of number of commercial aircrafts, and therefore it will become very difficult to forecast the weather. That is a very important issue nowadays. Okay, no data will be available to predict cyclones due to worldwide reduction in the aircraft flights. We will not be having any data, sufficient data, and you cannot predict the cyclones, which is a very, very important issue as regards the Indian monsoon is concerned. There are challenges for the marine parts of the observing system also. Ships, floats, drifting, and motor buoys. Most of these systems are automated, but planned repair, maintenance, and resupply work is currently halted. Okay, we are not having any maintenance and the other repair works on these marine observation systems. And we are seeing a slow decline in the observation numbers from the sea, from the ocean also. So that also will affect the prediction of the weather. One investigation says that the impact of COVID-19 crisis is asymmetric in areas excluding megacities. You don't consider the cities like Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Delhi. Okay, these are all megacities. This particular observation is not pertaining to the megacities in terms of its impact on the weather and climatic, especially temperature. Okay, but this particular impact is basically on other areas. You can see this. This is the area of low temperature. This is average annual temperature map of India. Okay, this is the area of low temperature. But this is not the area where there are few number of COVIDs. Okay, on the contrary, you can have more number of the moderate number of COVID patients here. Exclude Mumbai, but in case of other area of Maharashtra, you will see this one. You have to compare this temperature and the number of COVIDs. So it seems that this particular distribution is quite asymmetric. The impact is asymmetric. Okay. Now the biggest impact can be seen in the regions that have the mostly poor observations, notably Africa and the small island states everywhere on the globe. You will see that on this particular globe, there are few areas where there are many observations taken. But there are many areas where you don't have many observations. Okay, so you will not have full knowledge of what exactly is happening in future, will happen in future because of these observations. Drastic measures taken by the governments because of the spreading of the novel coronavirus, okay, the shutdown of factories, commercial establishments, vehicular movement, it has resulted in a drop in the pollution levels across the world, increasing visibility. It has increased the visibility. You can see this particular picture. Himalayas visible for the first time in 30 years as the pollution levels, they have dropped. Okay, so this particular area is from UP and from where you can see clear view of Himalayas because the pollution has decreased and the visibility has increased. Mother Earth seems to have rejuvenated itself. Smog has given way to the blue skies, etc. Everything. A dramatic fall in the pollution in Europe. This particular show, this all red patch shows the earlier pollution scenario. Okay, April 2019. This is 13th of April 2020 scenario. Okay, this is the air quality index in New Delhi. Okay, as compared to earlier period 161. Okay, this is the graph which shows you how this particular has decreased. It has sank to as low as 93 last month in New Delhi as compared to 161 is 2019. You can see the clear skies, great visibility. Now we have considered the effect on the air. Now we'll consider the effect on vegetation. What has happened to vegetation? Plants are growing better because there is cleaner air and water, and because there is no human interference. With everything at a standstill, plants are allowed to thrive and grow and produce more coverage and oxygen. Less litter also means lesser clogging of river systems, which is good in long run for the environment. You can see this, how the river channels, they have become very clean. However, now this is a drawback and this is an ill effect of coronavirus lockdown. However, the outbreak has also provided cover for illegal activities such as deforestation of the rainforest and poaching in the Africa and India, surging by over 50% compared to baseline. So this has increased deforestation of rainforest, the activities and poaching activities because there is no control over this. Few people are going there, there is no control and this has increased and that is a danger to our environment. Effect on wildlife. Again, where fish is concerned, the lockdown has seen a decline in fishing, which means that the fish biomass will increase. Apart from that, animals have been spotted moving about freely where once they would not dare to go. This elephant would not dare to go here, but it is now freely moving on the rail track. Okay. In many parts of the country and in other areas also, you will see that there is a decline in the law enforcement and the illegal hunting that has fueled by food shortages. There are many food shortages in some undeveloped areas, poor areas, okay, poor areas, and there is a decline in the law enforcement in some wildlife protection areas. At the same time, border closures and travel restrictions slowed illegal trade in certain high-value species. Okay, so this is also affecting adversely. This is a rhino in Kaziranga in Assam. Poaching has become increasingly common amid the coronavirus pandemic as people left jobless, turned to wildlife to make money and feed their families. Authorities in India are concerned that this spike in poaching not only could kill more endangered tigers and leopards, but also species these carnivores depend upon to survive. This is a leopard killed in Karnataka forest. In India, there also were numerous other poaching casualties. For example, gazelles in the grasslands, foot-long giant squirrels in forest, wild boars and birds such as peacocks and purple morens. See, this is a giant squirrel. All of this shows that the pandemic is resulting in more room for animals to thrive even amidst the margins of the urbanized existence. This is the urban area and this is the marginal area of urbanized area. Thailand, this is from Thailand. Monkeys on the hunt for food in Lopburi, north of Bangkok, where tourists who normally feed the animals have stayed away as a result of virus. Now the water quality, we'll consider the water quality and how it has, its quality has improved. The water quality of surface water, fluvial water, coastal water. Since there were no boats, whether they be fishing or pleasure ones, playing on the rivers and waterways, the water has cleared up. The areas like Venice, the water became so clear that the fish could be seen and there was a better water flow. No doubt, because of the lesser human footfall, even the oceans are recovering and marine life is thriving. This is an example, okay, population of birds, butterflies. There is a surge in their occurrence, there is a surge in their frequency, surge in India amid lockdown period. In Venice, water in the canals cleared and experienced greater water flow. You can see this. This is a clear water and you can see what is lying on the bed here. The increase in the water clarity was due to the settling of the sediment that is disturbed by the boat traffic. There are no sediments now, and this is not being disturbed by the boat traffic. So you can see the seaweeds very clearly. Demand for fish prices have both decreased due to the pandemic and fishing fleets around the world sit mostly idle. Due to this, the fish biomass will increase due to the sharp decline in fishing. Some fish, such as herring, could double their biomass. So, increase in the biomass of the fish is a major consequence. As of April 2020, one can clearly see signs of aquatic recovery. Okay. The reduction in the maritime transit has brought with it the diminishment of noise. There is less noise now in the oceans because there are few boats, few ships entering into the sea. Okay, well, because and therefore there is no pollution in the seas and oceans. Dolphins, therefore, dolphins they appeared near the beaches of the cities which have a rare dolphin record. Those areas where you cannot see a dolphin, you can now see very clear occurrence of dolphins. Sea sharks, they were also recorded on Indian coast. This is an example. Whale shark appeared on Rameshwaram coast, and these are the dolphins near Mumbai. Okay. Now the another, the area which is affected is coral. The research made on coral reefs shows that the absence of noisy boats. Okay, these are used to noises. The coral reefs, they are used to noises produced in the shallow water. Okay, has caused a decrease in the reef and coral larvae, possibly due to the greater difficulty in listening, because they are used to listening. Okay, and because there are no boats, they cannot listen any noise. There is a difficulty in listening and finding a reef to settle in due course to those areas. As a consequence of the unprecedented use of disposable face masks, a significant number of masks were discarded. These are the masks. These are discarded in the near shore area, near the coastal, in the coastal environment, adding to the worldwide burden of plastic waste. Worldwide burden of plastic has tremendously increased because of this particular these disposable face masks. This is all over the world, but the people are taking care. When you consider a urban geomorphology, urban geomorphologists, and these people, they are using the cycles as a way, as a vehicle. Milan, this is the example of Milan, one of the most polluted in Europe and one of those mostly affected by the coronavirus, has an ambitious plan to lighten the role of public transport in the coming months by using such cycles. Now, this is how the area has improved. This is murky, polluted water of Yamuna, giving way to pure blue water. Same area. You can see the difference. Ever since the coronavirus pandemic struck across the globe, several reports have emerged highlighting the rejuvenation of river environments. River environments, they are improving. There is a regeneration, there is a rejuvenation, and return to their natural form after the lockdown. The nationwide lockdown is also providing a perfect condition for the olive ridley turtles to lay eggs in Odisha's Gahirmatha beach and Rushikulya Rokari. You can see all these turtles coming on the beach. Now, while it is not unusual for olive ridley turtles to mass nest in Odisha's Rushikulya, Roorkee, and Gahirmata beach, daytime nesting is uncommon. Daytime nesting on the beaches is not found, it's uncommon. But this is being seen in the state, in this particular state, almost 7 years after this. And this is basically because of the less human intervention has made the turtles come out of their shells on the beach. Dolphins were spotted, as I told you just now, in waters of Marine Drive and Malabar Hill in Mumbai. While they are not uncommon, they were not seen many times. Okay, they human activities keep them away from appearing so close to the coast. Okay, but now you can see them. No more effluents are flowing into the rivers, and thanks to the lockdown, the toxic impact of the industrial waste is spreading gradually. Okay, therefore, COVID-19 has been an eye-opener. It has shown people as to how the earth can bounce back to life if humans allow for it in spite of local and global climate change. So this is basically an eye opener for us. Okay, and you can take a benefit of this, and you can talk of the improvement in the environment. Then there are only 2 or 3 slides remaining. The next 3 years will determine the course of the next 30 years and beyond. If we do not take action, we will surely see a rebound in the emissions. All these emissions which have reduced, there will be a rebound in emissions. If emissions rebound, it is very difficult to see how they will brought down the improvement in the future. In conclusion, though there has been a positive impact on the environment due to the lockdown, there is fear that once people start traveling again or go back to doing their work, the positive impacts will also disappear. The impact probably will be fairly short-lived. That is also a concern. There is a fear that this particular impact which we are seeing now and the improvement which we are seeing in the geographic environment, as I said, the fluvial environment, the coastal environment, biogeographical environment, human environment, the urban environment, etc., will be probably short-lived. No one knows. Probably in next 3 years, everything will be again coming back to its original position. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Sir, as you can see, there has been a lot of praises in the chat box for you. People have loved your session.
Yeah. Thank you.
And to extend vote of thanks, I would actually, we have got a question, sir, but it's a very simple question. Should I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the question is from Mahavir Patil, sir. The question is, are the results from your own analysis or collected as results from different labs?
Yeah. They are from the globe, from the universe, and many of these results, they are waiting the approval also. They're also waiting the approval, but these are the observations of the people from the world, and few observations are my own observations, especially the monsoon observations are my own observations.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So now let us move on to the vote of thanks, and to extend vote of thanks, I invite Dr. A.S. Khade, sir, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Geography. Please unmute Sasane. Sasane sir, please unmute Khade sir.
Yes, sir. Unmute from. Okay.
Yes. May I hear you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now we feel a very fresh environment due to the COVID-19 lockdown period. How it is, the air condition, it's a positive impact of the COVID-19 lockdown period. That's why we feel all over the fresh environment. Actually, the session is very nice, presented by the Professor Dr. Karlekar sir, and he touches and through lights on the atmospheric situation all over the world. during the COVID-19 lockdown period. The very nice session presented by him. That's why I am going to very much thankful from the Department of Geography and the ASC College Ramananda Nagar. Thank you very much, sir. Jai Karmavir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Nice.
So we will now begin with the third session. And the speaker for the third session today we have with us is Mrs. Pragati Deshmukh ma'am. Yes.
I can stop my video, na?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Sir.
Thank you very much.
Muted, so no problem.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay. So let us now begin with the third session. And it is a proud privilege for me that I am going to introduce the third speaker for the session. And we have with us, as I told, Mrs. Pragati Deshmukh ma'am. Mr. Pragati Deshmukh ma'am, when I went through her bio, I can see she's a multi-dimensional personality. She's been working as assistant professor in geography at Department of Geography, HBT Arts and RYK Science College, Nashik. She has published more than 10 papers and research articles in scientific peer-reviewed international and national journals, proceedings and books. She has delivered guest lectures and her area of interest is in identifying impact of land using land cover on groundwater quality in Deccan upload area, estimation of soil erosion, detection and delineation of water bodies in hilly area, river change detection and bank erosion identification, demarcation of drainage network for watershed management and identification of rainfall variability. So it makes me feel it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce and also to welcome Mrs. Pragati Deshmukh, speaker for the third session. I am handing over the session to her. Sasani sir, please.
Pragati ma'am, please
Yes.
switch off your video. Switch on.
Switch off.
Yes. Now you
Okay.
are. And share your screen now. Your PPT.
Yes.
Video is not visible. Your video is off.
Yes.
Your video. Oh, okay. Now it's good.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So welcome everyone. And today I choose here the topic, role of geography in spread of COVID-19. Being as a geography subject professor, I always think, what is our role in this COVID-19? And when I studied in this section, I find out, yes, there are number of things which are dealing with this spread of COVID-19. In the front background, if you are looking here, you can see the map which is published by Government of India on 15th April. It is given, which is directly indicating that our total northeastern part is not affected up to the mid-April from the COVID-19. It means, yes, there is the physiographical barriers also, which are barriering to the communication or interaction. So, yes, there are number of factors from geography field which are playing a role in spread of COVID-19. So just I'm throwing a light on this. So before going that reasons, at first we have to see what is the chain of.
Okay, I know that.
Is my slides are moving?
Not yet, ma'am.
Yes, it is not showing me also.
Click once again, ma'am, it will work.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay.
Keep trying, ma'am, because we can see the same.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now it's moving. Okay.
Yes, fine.
Okay. Now, at first, we want to understand what is the chain of COVID-19. In the initial stage, we are listening that, yes, there is the A, B, C, D chain, which is a playing role and which is contributing in this one. So here, first one is the A person, which is the international traveler who comes to meet the person C, and in between these of A and C, there is always B person. It may be the airport person, cleaning person, or auto or taxi driver, then a company traveler who is the sharing seat with that traveler. Then if the international traveler is visiting any shop or in a hotel, everywhere he can meet any persons. So that person will identify as a B. So we can find out the chain of spread of COVID-19 up to the B and C. But there are some persons who are meeting to this B person. It may be we also, because maybe our neighbor will communicate with any service with is dealing with international traveler, or the C person which is communicated with the international traveler. So it is communicated by that B person, and this D1 will known as a B2. When this B2 will increase, it will as a spread. So this B2 is very difficult to handle and to identify in which way the spread is going on. Now, if we are observing the short time period, it is very difficult to understand how the physical geography is dealing with COVID, because there was some comments were given some scientists that in India it will stop or it will reduce in May because the temperature will increase, but definitely it doesn't happen. So physical barriers or physical reasons will analyzed in a long-term analysis, but there are some human geographical aspects which are dealing or which are playing a very significant role in this spread of COVID-19. Now, if we are looking this, or if we are thinking about these reasons or these what the causes from human geography which are playing this role, we will find out first one is a migration, which is very important, which have to stop. Here we are not considering the permanent or temporary migration. Migration in case of a interaction. Then second point, there will be the population density. Next one is a poverty, then economy of that country, that household also. And next one is a tradition, customs and rituals. Now, all these functions will affect our whole human geography, how it will change our death rates, then birth rates, migration pattern from one country to another country or from one city to another city also. Then it will affect to the, already it is affected to the economy of number of cities, countries also. Then it will affect the education, not only these ones, but number of depression cases are going to be increases. Then family problems are going to be increases. So it will going into the different ways. So if we are looking here for our first section, that is the migration, we will look here. The first COVID case is registered in Wuhan in China, and then it is spread over in China only. But at that the same time, the peoples are interactioning or migrating from China to other countries, and in that cases, initially it is reached to the European country as well as the American countries. In the next stage, the peoples which are more interacted with, then it is spread into the South America as well as the African countries also. Then it is covered Australia also, small islands, even India, and all these sections of the world. So this is the migration and interaction pattern which affecting to the spread of COVID-19. If we are looking for the one of the person, that is Kumara, who studied for the what is the effect of migration in India, because we know that very well, number of or even thousands of migrants or the what we can say workers are leaving the Mumbai and they go their own native places. So in that case, if we are looking here, the professionals to native place, where most of the peoples were shifted from Delhi to UP, as well as from Mumbai to most of the each and every main part of the India. It is UP, MP, Jharkhand, West Bengal, in South also Andhra, Karnataka, Gujarat, everywhere. And they are mostly carrying their coronavirus also maybe with them. Now it will happens again when the people will come again from native place to their professional places, because most of the workers are coming for the employment once again into the Mumbai. Throughout the South India as well as from the North India, peoples are coming to the India. So this migration will, or this interaction will very badly affected to our spread of coronavirus. This is just only one snapshot where if we are, this is the site of Government of India, where we are looking the information. I want to highlight this one, which is migrated one. This migrated one is not migrated in our own country only, but it is migrated to the other country. It means it is againly carrying, though he is the infected, he is traveling to the another country. It means he is carrying the coronavirus with him. So this is the part of migration or interaction in the spread of COVID-19. When we are talking about the population density, we all know what is the meaning of population density. That is number of peoples which are residing in the area of 1 square of kilometer. So this is the map once again, which is published by Census of India. So here we can see that these are the highest, this district has the highest population density, that is Mumbai, Thane, Pune, Kolhapur, Nagpur and Nasik. And the lowest population density having in Gadchiroli, Sindhudurga, Chandrapur, Ratnagiri, Yavatmal, Wardha and Usmanabad. When I correlate this one with the COVID-19 cases which were registered up to the 13th April 2020, I found that yes, most populated countries, or sorry, most populated districts, that is Mumbai, Thane, Pune and Nagpur, are on the high ranks for the affectance of the COVID-19. At the same time, lowest population density, that is Gadchiroli, Chandrapur and Wardha, they are also remain unaffected due to their low interaction and population low population density in that district. So here also, if we are looking, the area is too small for the Mumbai and the affected cases are 1,295 for that one. Therefore, it is the highest place. Most of the peoples are saying what government is doing. Yes, government is doing their roles, but at the same time, the population density is also playing a very important role in all that. In the same thing or same observations are finding out in the Nashik district also. We are hearing in the news also, though the Nashik is a city center, most of the affected cases are registered at a Malegaon, or it becomes a hotspot. It was the 4th hotspot in Maharashtra. So it is just only because of the Nashik city's population density is near about 6,000 only, but the Malegaon city has a population density of more than 19,000. It's a 19,000, means in a single family, there is near about 50 to 20 people are living in a small home. So maintaining of a social distancing is a very big problem in this area, and therefore it becomes a hotspot. Now, the next point is a poverty. Now, when we are talking about the poverty, once again, I am going into the Mumbai. We are saying that the government is not playing a proper role, or most of the cases are registered in the Mumbai. But it's not like that. The basic problem on a ground level. If we are looking the example here, this is the picture of Dharavi, where we are looking, there is a no single space in between the homes. So how we can maintaining the social distancing also. At the same time, with this poverty, they are having their own problems. They know they having the question of daily bread and butter. आफ्टर द लॉकडाउन, जैसे हमने सुना था कि बहुत सारे लोग लॉकडाउन में रास्ते पे नहीं आए, लेकिन घर पे बैठे बैठे बहुत सारे लोग रास्ते पे आ गए. यस, in that time government provided the food and all the stuff to that people, but right now after the releasing of lockdown or in the unlock procedures, they want to come out for their daily bread and butter. They know that if they are not working, then they can't eat anything at evening. So they have the question of their daily bread and butter, and therefore they are moving from their homes. Then low standard of living. They don't have a home, they don't have a space, they don't have enough knowledge. So low standard of living is one of the point which is playing a most significant role in the spreading of COVID-19, specifically in India. Then lack of awareness about a hygiene. We are saying that the wash the people number of times in a day, or wash it for the 20 seconds by using soaps and hand wash and all that. I think this picture is more speaking number of words at the same time. So how we can say that they are aware about the hygiene and how many times they are washing their homes before they eating anything. Now, in this slums area, there is one of the most dangerous problem, that is they have the common toilets. Now, if we want to avoid interaction or direct physical contacts with anyone, we want to avoid to the common places. So the people which are living in the slum area or low standard areas, they having the common toilet facilities. So when one of the infected person is visiting to there, definitely he will give the infection to the another persons also. So these are some points which are playing a role in to the spread of COVID-19. We know that our GDPI is very low on national or international level. And this is the hidden part actually on global level, which is playing a significant role in spread of COVID-19 in India. Now, most of the friend will ask me the cross question that, yes, okay, we do agree. The population density, the migration and the poverty is doing a playing a very significant role. Now, how the USA is representing on a first level or in a first affected list? So the answer of this question is economy. Yes, if this is just only yesterday's data, if you observe this one, India stands on third rank. At the same time, USA is standing on a first position. They are having more than 35 lakhs people total affected in the country, but yet they are not applying the lockdown. In India, in a first stage only, we apply the lockdown. We give the theoretical knowledge, we give the practical knowledge to the people, and now this is the time only to apply that practical knowledge in our day-to-day life. So if we observed here, these numbers are only saying or only giving the answer why the USA is not implementing, why the USA is facing is this big problem, and the answer is only and only one, that is they want to survive their economy. They don't want to their location in international market. They don't want to become defeated by China. So they are just only facing the COVID-19 cases. If we are looking the balancing sheet of this one, here the total cases, here I am comparing the India and USA, and purposely I am taking the logarithmic scale on the y-axis because each and every value should be noticed down. So if we observe that total cases, new cases, even total deaths are more than India in USA. Where I read the people, they are thinking that yes, we can surrender our population, we can surrender our people, but definitely we can't surrender our economy. So for that purpose, the most number of the people or number of the deaths also very high. Then total recovered and all are though these are not most important for me, it is the they also having the most critical cases more than the India. Then total cases among 1 million population, if we are comparing this, they having near about 10,000 affected people among 1 million population, where we have less than 1,000 people. It is near about 618 only. So why it happens, then why our numbers are increasing, and only the example is, only its reason is the total population. Now if these both of the columns are looking plus minus same here, but don't forget here its scale is logarithmic. Our total population is more than 135 crores, even they are not crossing the crores also. So these are the basic reasons. Yes, economies also play very important role in the spread of COVID-19. Now, if we are listening the recent news also, at number of places, people are demanding to once again apply the lockdown in India because the infected cases or its numbers are going on. But definitely we can't againly lock down now, because right now we also want to survive our economy. Therefore, economy is once again one of the very most important factor which playing the role of spread of economic COVID-19. Now, most of the friends will say, why I am telling this? Because up to the first thing, the first four things, that is the interaction, population density, poverty, and economy, it is not in too much in my hand. But definitely, yes, our tradition, custom, rituals, this is our social geographical part. This is the part of our social geography. We are dealing with this part. And if we are looking everywhere right now after the lockdown, the peoples are engaging in different type of namkaran vidhis, engagement ceremonies, marriages, birthday programs, funerals, even death anniversaries, and tourism activities also. And they are asking the question also, what will happen if only one I break the rule, or if I attend a one program? But I want to say them, just only bund bund milke hi sagar banta hai. Therefore, it is the most important thing. Yes, we have the more population, and if we are analyzing all 5 points, we are finding out the basic, the sociological and traditional reasons in behind of spreading of COVID-19 in India. So I think physical human geography plays most significant role more than the physical geography right now in India. Therefore, we have to, I'm not saying that I will or you will. Yes, I will say that we will to do it. We have to do it. Otherwise, definitely we will in very dangerous condition in upcoming future. So with this note, I will just only say that stay home and not the stay safe, but stay home and break the chain, the spread of COVID-19 in India. Otherwise, definitely it will lose our economy, it will lose our presence, and it will lose our surveillance also. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the session, ma'am. And I repeat, we can see a lot of praises and a lot of admiration for you in the chat section. People have been listening
Okay.
to it and have enjoyed your session actually. So,
Okay, thank you. It's my pleasure.
yes. And to extend the vote of thanks for the session, I would like to call upon Dr. A.S. Khade sir, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Geography.
Well, Namrata madam, very nice session done by the Deshmukh madam. She is from Nashik. She threw the light on the spread of COVID-19 through the maps, and he compared with the other countries through the graph. Also, he explained the chain of COVID-19, spread of COVID-19 and hotspots districts in India, and population density, the spread of COVID-19, role of density, especially in the metropolitan cities. And she has put forth a example, Dharavi slum area, and where how to keep the social distancing, where the poverty is a most burning problem. She also expressed his thoughts on the spread of the COVID-19, and country like India, most of the peoples are below the poverty line. How these peoples are knowledge about the COVID-19. Very nice session done by the Deshmukh madam. I am very much thankful to Deshmukh madam from the
Thank you, sir.
Department of Geography and ASC College, Ramananda Nagar, Kirloskar, especially. Thank you very much, and Jai Karmavir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We are moving onward for the next session, that is for oral presentation and poster presentation. But I want to request the management team if they can show only one poster, because we are actually running out of time. So I just request the management team to show one single poster or one single video, whichever is available, so that we can move forward. Sasane sir.
This post.
Hello everyone. Greetings of the day to the all. My name is Anil Govekar, postgraduate student of Vivekananda Education Societies, College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Mumbai. I am presenting a review paper on eutrophication. Eutrophication is an enrichment of water by nutrient salt that causes structural changes to the ecosystem, such as increased production of algae, aquatic plants, and depletion of fish species, etc. There are two types of eutrophication. The process of tagging, characterized by nutrient enrichment, is called natural eutrophication. It permits the production of phytoplankton, algal blooms, and aquatic vegetations, etc. Cultural eutrophication process is generally speed up by the human activities, which are responsible for the addition of 80% nitrogen and 75% of phosphorus to the lake and stream. Figures of both types of eutrophication are shown in the poster. Process of the eutrophication are explained using its effects to the natural activity of ecosystem. First, it facilitates the rapid growth of aquatic plants, causing algal bloom. Growth of the algae on surface of the water prevents penetration of light into deeper layers. Loss of dissolved oxygen creates anaerobic condition that facilitates anaerobic decomposition of or remaining organic matter. Organic compounds such as H2S, CH4, etc. Generally, generated during anaerobic decomposition creates odor and taste problem in water. Overgrowth of algae and other plants causes clogging of water filter during the water treatment process. When aquatic life dies, microorganisms consume dissolved oxygen to oxidize their dead bodies. Loss of dissolved oxygen inhibits the growth of aquatic organisms. For the control of eutrophication, wastewater like sewage should not be discharged into river or other water system only after the proper treatment. For example, nitrates and phosphates should not be removed from wastewater before disposal into river. Algal bloom should be removed from water. Use of phosphate-free detergent to reduce eutrophication. There is other methods for reduce or control to eutrophication like use of alkylite, stop preventing of fertilizer to the water system, etc. Conclusion of this paper: water is not a commercial product like other, but rather a heritage which must be defended and protected, especially in the presence of global decline in the availability of drinking water and increase in its demand. Despite the considerable effects made to improve the water quality by limiting nutrients enrichment, cultural eutrophication, and resulting algal bloom continue to be the main safeguard of the quality of surface water, as requested not only the specific community and other experts, but to an increased extent also by citizens and environmental organizations, is therefore increasing important. Thank you.
Thank you for the video, sir. And now we will move on for the valedictorial address. For valedictorial address, I would like to call upon Dr. UV Patil Madam, Coordinator of Arts, Science and Commerce College, Ramanand Nagar, Burli.
Thank you, Namrata. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Ujjwala Vijay Patil, I'm here to deliver valedictory speech on the occasion of this National E-Conference on Geographic Environment during COVID-19 lockdown period, organized by Raya Shikshan Sanstha's Arts, Science and Commerce College, Ramanand Nagar, Burli. To sum up the views expressed during the presentations made by the resource persons, I would like to put forward some of my observations. The lockdown period has created so many positive impacts on nature, and some of the negative impacts have been created on human development, on GDP, and mental health of all the human beings. When we consider these two opposite views, impact of lockdown period on man versus impact of lockdown period on nature, these are two different things which try to focus that human beings are always trying to be, or they are always trying to consider themselves as the center of the universe, as the center of all the natural procedure. But this is the time when human beings should understand that they are not the owners of this environment, but just they are the part of this environment. And so if we want to survive, if human beings want to survive, they must go in hand with the nature. Modern man talks about a battle with nature, but he forgets that if he won the battle, he would find himself on the losing side. The welfare of human beings is not in the battle against nature, but the welfare of all the humanity is in making friendship with the environment, with the nature. And so all the people, all the human beings should understand that they are the part of the nature. This is the message given by COVID-19, given by the lockdown period. All the time we are speaking about the impact of COVID-19 and lockdown on the nature, at the same time on the human beings. And this comes as our attitude. The attitude being carried by all the humanity, all the human beings, as they are the center of all this natural procedure. So I would like to conclude with this my speech with one quote by Lord Byron. Lord Byron says, "There is pleasure in the pathless woods. There is rapture in the lovely shore. There is society where none intrudes. By the deep sea and music in its roar, I love not man the less, but nature more." Means for the God, for the Almighty, or for the creator of this universe, all the animals, all the beings on the earth are same. Nature is as important as the human beings, as the development of the human beings. So this is the message given by this COVID-19, and the lockdown period has given us a lot of peace of mind, as nature is healing itself because of the lockdown, because people are not traveling here and there, they are not interrupting the natural processes. So the nature is healing itself. In same way, nature has given us the space, physical space, to heal ourselves. When we are not going outside, we can go inside. This is the spiritual message which we can get from this lockdown period. If you are not able to go outside, go inside. Try to discover yourself. You have discovered a lot in the universe. You have discovered a lot in the outward space. But now this is the time when you can discover yourself, your inner self, your inward self. And this is the message which lockdown period has given us. With this positive message, I would like to thank the resource persons of today's National E-Conference, Principal Dr. A.S. Jadhav, Dr. S.N. Karlekar, and Mrs. Pragati Deshmukh, who has given us different perspectives on the impact of lockdown period on geographic environment with reference to nature as well as with reference to human beings. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Honorable Principal Dr. L.D. Kadam sir for organizing, for guiding all the team of Geography Department to organize such a nice e-conference. I also thank Dr. A.S. Khade, head of the Department of Geography, who has taken all the efforts with his team for the well-planned, well-organized organization of this e-conference. I also thank all the technical team of this e-conference. I thank compeer of this e-conference, Ms. Namrata Kamble. I extend my gratitude towards all the staff members of Geography Department and all the members, staff members who have supported the successful organization of this e-conference. And I stop here. Thank you.
So here we conclude the conference. The participation has been very enthusiastic, and I thank you all for a lot of patience and for all the participation we had from your side. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Karmavir.
All the participants hereby inform that the feedback link is sent to your registered mail. Please fill the feedback form for the e-certificate. This link will be sent to your registered mail ID within 1 hour.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Saib, can we stop the meeting? Okay.